Hello and welcome back to our inaugural episode of season 2 of
First Draft Films. I literally just said it.
I know.
First Draft Films from Indie to Hollywood, also known as the Grannon Film Productions Podcast or the Grannon Podcast or whatever else you want to call it.
That one podcast I listened to the first episode of and did never listen to again. Looking at whoever those 100 people were.
Yeah, it went from 100 to 20 views real quick.
That's okay. We're not everybody's cup of tea, clearly.
Yeah. Also, first episode.
Yeah, a little bit interesting.
This season's going to be a lot better.
Oh man, yeah, just leveling up. I mean, we level up everything every year, but I mean, look at this. Yeah, special shout out to Dan, whose studio this is, Wise Media Group Podcast Studio. As you can see, it is beautiful. For those of you who watched our last episode of season 1, which we recorded in October, November, something like that. That was here, but there's a little bit of a different setup and layout of the room, so that's also leveling up every year too. So
yeah, we may see some more changes to this space in the coming year throughout the season. So stay tuned for that. There's a lot of exciting things that we have to share with you today.
Yeah. So we also have a little more of a structure to our podcast this year. Instead of 100% random and crazy, we're
toning it down to 98% 90 crazy. 90?
I don't know what that was, but yeah, there's more structure, more organization at this point. We have a list typed up on the computer of things that we want to hit, bullet points, and so that is pretty cool. Yeah. Our first thing that we're going to do every time is start off with a grand and quick fact. Brooke, what is your grand and quick fact?
My grand and quick fact of the day, week, episode? Oh. I'm very disappointed that this winter has not had much snow so far.
I think it's going to come in February when you're gone.
I know. Oh, well. I mean, we did have snow on Christmas, so there's that.
That's true.
But, yeah, a little disappointed that it's not a ton of snow. I like sledding.
Yeah.
So. What about you? What's your grand and quick fact?
My quick fact is that I recently started reading The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. However you say his name, it's something like that.
And what is a gulag?
It is the name, presumably in Russian, for the Soviet labor camps back during the Soviet USSR days, where they sent millions and millions of their own citizens to, and citizens from other countries, but primarily Russians, for literally any reason whatsoever, such as, oh, we have a quota to make, we're going to scoop up this whole band and trump up charges and ship them off, and then they're there for like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's very dark, but super, I mean, it's something I've wanted to read for a long time. And I'm actually, so the original work is 3 volumes averaging to about 1,800 pages. The copy I have, I'm borrowing from my mom. It's like 500 pages, so it's abridged, but it is the officially approved version by Solzhenitsyn. He approved this abridgment. So I feel okay reading it, because anybody who knows me and how I like books and stuff, I really don't like reading abridged versions. I'd much rather read the whole thing. I guess it's a little bit different with this being nonfiction, but still. Anyway, I'm enjoying it, but it's also dark. But I'm happy that I'm reading that. So
cool.
That's my fact.
That's awesome. So next in our schedule list thing, introduce topic. Our topic for today is just a recap of our season 1 of our last year, and then foreshadowing this upcoming year, what we've got planned, what we're doing, what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Which is actually our next question. Kate, what are we working on right now? What kind of projects have we got underway?
Nothing new since we last talked about it. We are almost done editing the Isabel Project, which was a short film we shot in May, directed by Brooke. We have yet to start editing The Vicious Vacuum, which is the short film shot in August, directed by me. And, we're going to announce 2 projects today officially as well.
Yay! We can officially announce our work on a script based on the book Jane Eyre, and we're going to call it Jane. Just Jane.
Yep.
Not just Jane, but Jane.
Yes.
Jane Eyre, if you don't know, is an extremely exciting book. It's a mystery. It's a romance. It has 8-bit thriller action adventure. It's fantastic. And it's going to make quite the exciting movie.
Yes. And for people who enjoy historical fiction or just period dramas, it's not historical, so I don't know why I said that. But period dramas was the word I was looking for. If people who enjoy period drama films have probably seen or at least heard of several of the adaptations that have been made of this movie, they seem to make an adaptation about every 10 years or so throughout
Well, we're about
most of
due
the
for
last
one.
century. So, yeah, the most recent one was 2011. And then before that, it was 2006. And then it was 1997. And then it was 1996. And it was 1983. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1973. But anyway,
Very
most
popular.
of the adaptations are really terrible.
Like, really
Yes. And those of you who follow us on Letterboxd have seen our spicy reviews of these not good movies. But they just butcher the story in so many awful ways. And so when I was in high school, I started writing a script that I wanted to be a play, but now I'm writing it as a movie, feature film. So currently, man, I'm at like 130 pages already, and I'm only like
Nice.
2/3 of the way through.
Oh,
But this is the first draft, so
yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I hope to get that done towards the beginning of this year, and then we can go through and shorten it a bit.
Yeah.
But also, we're okay with having it long.
Mhm.
We were talking a couple weeks ago about older movies like maybe Ben-Hur or something that they
Mhm.
have an introduction, not an introduction, intermission. They have an intermission
Yeah.
in in the middle of the movie, so
Mhm.
something really long, but that can be spaced out. And so, if we have a 3-hour movie with an intermission, then so be it.
Yep. It'll be the biggest project we've worked on to date.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And what with it being a period drama, that comes with a lot of costume things we haven't had to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So we are announcing the project. We're not announcing a date yet.
Still in the pre-production stage. Pre-production.
Pre-script being finished. So yeah.
So don't expect that to come out anytime soon. Certainly not this year.
No.
Yeah. That's about all I have to say on that.
Yeah. And we are also working on another feature film script.
Yeah.
We being you.
I think we may have talked about this a little bit before, but officially announcing we are going to start production on Disconnected sometime this year. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out in your emails, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, if we're still on Twitter. I don't know, TikTok.
X. It's called X now.
X.
What do you say? Do you say I'm Xing? Like do you say tweeting still, or do you say I don't know what you say?
Elon Musk, we need answers.
Yes, help.
Anyway, stay tuned for announcements on the
Xing, I'm
production.
re-Xing. I don't know. It just sounds like you're breaking up with people.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. So, anyways, Disconnected gonna go into production this year. If you're interested in working on that, crew or cast, you can shoot us a DM on Instagram. Go to our website, send us an email. We do our best to respond to those within a day or two.
Yeah.
At the latest, like we do our best to respond right away.
But Instagram is crazy.
Instagram is
It will
crazy.
not notify us sometimes when we get notifications.
Yeah. So
Even if we go to the notification page, so that's really annoying. So
yeah. So if we don't respond, we don't hate you. We just didn't see your notification.
yes. Yeah. So can you give us a brief recap of a little bit of mini summary of Disconnected? Who the characters are, so maybe actors who are listening will maybe this will interest them.
Yeah. So Disconnected is still in the final stages of scripting. We're going to get a final draft of it here, finalized this spring, early this spring, maybe late winter. And it features a woman named Jo, and she's a journalist trying to, well, quasi-journalist, more like freelance ghostwriter type journalist. And she is trying to write an article for her client about the dangers and benefits of social media, how it pulls people apart and breaks relationships, and how it brings people together. And she's trying to find the answer to the question of, is social media good for human connections or bad? Is it helping us or hurting us? And early on in her journey, she meets a social media influencer named Bree. And they don't necessarily hit it off immediately, but become very helpful to each other. And the whole story is a drama exploring this question of social media. So that's about all I can say without getting like spoilery.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to shoot us any questions you have about that.
Yeah, there's about 5 main characters.
Yeah, so we've got
including the two
Joe
girls.
and Bree. Those are the 2 main characters, mostly Joe. And then there's Bree's boyfriend. I forgot his name.
Anthony.
Thank you. And then we've got Joe's mother and Joe's brother. Their names exist. I guess. It's been a little while since I looked at their names.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty tight cast, really focused on those interpersonal relationships, and the nuances therein.
Yeah. So, yeah, that covers what we are working on,
Mhm.
and more updates to follow in
Yeah.
future episodes.
Mhm.
What are we watching?
Uh,
Yes, Doom Productions, we are stealing this from you. You're welcome. Invitation is the highest form of flattery. That's all. Moving on. What are we watching?
We are currently watching together only one show called Alchemy of Souls. It's a Korean drama. Super good. Oh my gosh. Every episode is an hour long, but it feels like a 3-hour movie, and I don't know how they did that. It is phenomenal. The acting is, yeah, it leaves me speechless. Like I'm thoroughly in love with the show. And I've never really been into K-dramas. I don't like the cheesiness of it. But this one isn't super cheesy, and the plot lines, oh my gosh.
There's so much going on.
Every single character has their own motivations and relationships. It's beautiful storytelling, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of twists and turns and unexpected things that
my
happen.
gosh.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit cheesy, let's be honest.
Yes, but the show is self-aware enough to where it's not
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it like you can tell like I may not be well versed in the Korean dramas, but I can tell sometimes when it's like poking fun at something and I'm like, "Oh, I know what that is."
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, that's the only thing we're watching together. What have you watched recently without me?
So I don't watch a ton of movies, but I was able to watch a few over the last month or so. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You for the first time, and that one had been on my list for a long time.
I love that one.
Wasn't my favorite, mostly because I thought some of the characters like just didn't make sense, like
Yeah.
with the things that they decided to do. But it was cool. I could tell they filmed on location in Seattle. That
Mhm.
was really fun. And I was like, oh, they're at Gasworks Park. Oh, they're on Lake Union. Stuff like that. So that was really fun. And I think that one is, well, I know that one is like the modern adaptation of Taming and the Shrew, kind of.
Mhm.
So it was cool to see how they modernized and Americanized the names. Like instead of Petruchio or whatever his name's Patrick.
Yep.
So that was fun to see that. And also with me being familiar with the original Shakespeare play, like what they changed
Mhm.
as well. So
Yeah.
that overall it was fun. I think Heath Ledger, I don't know. Obviously everybody's sad that he died, but he's probably on my like top 5 list of most attractive actors I've ever seen in any movie ever. So especially in that one, I don't know.
Yeah.
He has a really nice smile,
Yeah,
and
he
his
does.
hair is cool. So I watched that one. I
Mhm.
watched Room with a View with my mom,
Mm.
and that one was really good. I think did it win Best Picture in that? It was like 1984. If it didn't win Best Picture, it won some other awards, and that one was really good. I didn't know what it was about at all, but that was like Edwardian era, early 1900s period drama.
Yeah.
And there's really interesting characters and really beautiful settings where they filmed on location as well, not in Seattle.
Yeah.
In Italy and Britain and
Ooh.
stuff.
Oh, to film in Italy.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
So that one, awesome, and it's a romance, so that was
Mhm.
cool. And I also watched Sense and Sensibility for the first time. Another
Mhm. For the first time.
yes,
Wow.
yeah, because I only read the book I think last year.
Oh,
Or was
yeah.
it the year before?
Huh.
And I'm a stickler about reading the book first.
Yeah. Yep.
Except for Dune, because I happened to watch the movie first. And
Dune's the only
I
exception.
know, but I haven't, and like I'm holding myself off from reading the book before
Me
Dune Part
too.
2 comes out.
Dune has been sitting on my
Dune Part
bookshelf.
2, no, Part 2.
March. It's coming out in March.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I've been avoiding the trailers.
Me too.
Ugh, it's
I don't
really
want to
hard.
see anything. Anyway, so yeah, I watched Sense and Sensibility. I will say I enjoyed the movie more than I enjoyed the book, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like some of the characters in the book weren't really fleshed out, and it was Jane Austen's first ever book,
That's
which
true.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was really enjoyable, really well done. Like,
Yeah.
totally recommend Sense and Sensibility. So
Nice.
that's what I've been watching as far as
That's
movies. How about you?
awesome. Let's see. I recently saw the new Studio Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron. It was really good. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I would not give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It did fall short for me in the end with just being kind of a little bit confusing in terms of the theme and moral that it's trying to tell in the story. Um, the whole adventure of it was stunning, of course. The animation, beautiful. The plot I was tracking, really easily, but it was still perfectly complex. The characters were interesting. But just that ending, it didn't quite land with whatever it was trying to say for me. But otherwise, good movie.
Good.
I think Howl's Moving Castle is still my top Studio Ghibli movie.
I've only seen 2, so
yeah, we
we're
should
gonna have
change
to watch
that.
more.
Yeah. I've only seen 4 now, so
Okay.
But
We'll have to watch
Spirited
all of
Away
them,
is
yeah.
definitely still second. I think The Boy and the Heron really takes third
Okay.
for me of the 4 that I've seen. The 4th being Ponyo.
Okay.
Great movie.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I'll just show you Ponyo.
Okay. Sounds good.
I also watched The Shift, which is a movie by Angel Studios, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Angel Studios. They've been putting out some really good content lately.
Yes.
Thoroughly enjoying their stuff. The Shift was like, I had my expectations for The Boy and the Heron and was a little let down. And I had my expectations for The Shift and was blown away. It was way more intense than I was expecting from like a Christian movie. And also way more explicit than I was expecting about how Christian it is. So I thought that was really cool, how it was such like this in-depth like sci-fi action movie while being so explicitly Christian. And then the plot twist in it I did not see coming.
Cool.
At least some of them. Some of them I saw coming in good ways. So definitely recommend that one. Probably a 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Some of the dialogue didn't quite hit for me, but that's getting a little nitpicky. So
we are screenwriters and other writers.
Yeah. And then I also saw Scrooged for the first time this year, and that was good. I laughed a lot.
That one is like a Christmas Carol, right?
Yes, it is a
Plot
Christmas
line?
Carol.
Okay.
It's got Bill Murray, and then it's got some guy.
Some guy? Okay.
I don't know his name, but I do think he looks a lot like our friend Kyle.
Okay.
And so that was really fun. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. And then I also watched White Christmas like I do every Christmas. Classic. Still good.
Good.
Yeah.
I've only seen it like a few times. I want to see it again.
That's probably the movie I've seen the most in my life. Yeah.
For me, that movie might be The Court Jester. Probably. Yeah. Probably The Court Jester. Which also still holds up.
Yes. Very good movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Danny Kaye.
I know. Yeah. I feel like he's so underrepresented. No.
Underrated?
Underrated for, I guess, today's audience.
Yeah. I mean, he is of kind of the older movie generation.
But of the older movie generation, he's not super well known. I feel like there.
I guess I've never known that because I've been watching White Christmas my whole life, so I've always known Danny Kaye.
But I mean, I guess Bing Crosby is more well known. Yeah, because he put out albums and stuff. But Danny Kaye didn't.
Danny Kaye didn't do the singing like that.
Yeah, but yeah, and Danny Kaye, I think he did more comedy stuff.
Yeah,
well, he's done other movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah, we should do that.
We should. Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to our topic as we're already halfway through our episode?
Gosh, yeah. So, recap of last year. Again, we briefly talked about kind of what we worked on. The big thing that we did. So we were talking like, what was the last personal project we released? That was not the drama we expected, I think.
That was almost 2 years ago.
I know. That's ridiculous.
But we've been doing so much other work. I mean, we've had some fantastic clients that we've been working for, and we released 2 music videos this year.
Last year.
This year, last year. Yeah. Year.
2023.
2023.
Yes. Tim in October by Hasher Cats.
And
then Just One Dance for the Yakima Dance.
Yeah. That one was fun. They were
still-
both really fun.
They haven't. I don't think that one is on YouTube, so
Okay.
probably not a lot of our people
Mhm.
in the film world have seen it.
Yeah.
Which is a pity because I'm really proud of how that one turned
Yeah.
out.
Do we have access to that? We can share it around.
I think they put it on Instagram, but
Mm.
I don't think it's living on YouTube yet. I think it should though.
We might fix that soon. Stay tuned.
Well, we could. We'd have to talk to people. We could
Well,
do it
right.
ourselves.
It's not just our decision, but
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the only things we really released other than our podcast last year.
Yeah, there's that too. I guess that counts.
There's that too, I guess.
15 entire episodes.
Yeah, 15 episodes.
Yeah.
What's that thing that's like podcasts die before they reach 20 episodes or something like that?
I don't know.
Something like
is that a thing?
Apparently. I heard that from someone. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It can be hard to continue something like that.
Yeah, it is.
And we took like however many months of a break last year.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot going on. I mean, we filmed 2 movies.
Yeah.
Of our own and then helped other people film their movies.
Yes.
Speaking of what recently released that we were part of.
Oh, yes. The Mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was fun.
Wasn't that shot more in 2022 though?
I think it was.
So at least some of it.
Definitely.
It was when we wrote the duplex.
Yeah, it was. But I definitely did film some stuff last year for it. Yeah, so The Mentor, directed by Nathan Cash, RC Films. And I got to play one of the characters.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. It was an improvised feature film and turned out pretty amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked on improvised films before, and we know how much of a challenge just the short films are. And so to see what Nathan and the RC film crew could do was, honestly, really awesome.
I think that it's really close between The Mentor and Not So. They're my favorites from RC Films at this point. Yeah. So
yeah, for sure. I like Not So a little bit more, but lots of nostalgia for me. That was my first time meeting any of the RC boys and all of that. And then and I just love Spider-Man. So like
yeah.
But also The Mentor, like, definitely real close second.
Yeah. I'd say for me, standout actors were Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm biased, but I mean, she's my sister. Come on. And Ernesto. I really loved him.
Oh, yeah.
And Liam as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Even that one scene.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Jeremy's always been a fantastic actor.
Yes.
But like,
wow.
Yeah, he was so good in that scene.
Yeah.
He was in one scene. And he gets this nomination from us of Best Actor.
Those were just the highlights. I don't think there were anybody was like, that person was a terrible actor.
Yeah, no.
Everybody was great, but those were just like extra great people in my mind. So
for sure.
Yeah. So that was another thing we worked on.
Yes, it was. That's right.
Or sort of, I guess partially last year, but
yeah. Are we allowed to talk about the other thing related to The Mentor, but not The Mentor?
Yeah, that's been publicly announced.
Okay, cool. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, that's on YouTube too. So
Sweet.
Little Black Submarines.
Yep. Yes. The sequel to The Mentor, following Vanessa's character, Gloria. After the events of the Mentor, she meets one of the other characters from The Mentor. Jordan from Doomed plays this Uber driver, and he and Gloria get into a little bit of mischief. Super fun action drama. How else would you describe that movie? Oh man, it's super good. And Jordan
action adventure.
Yeah,
I think adventure should be in there just because of reasons.
Reasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we got it to help out with that.
Yeah, I got to reprise my role as Anna.
Yeah.
From The Mentor, so that was really fun.
Yeah, and it was fun for me being there in like watching.
Yeah, because you got to be on set a lot.
Yeah, because awesome. You filmed that one at my house, so I was
we did.
So yeah. So that was really fun. Again, Doomed has their entire podcast episode out about that. We could link that.
We should link that.
We're gonna link that. So with going over a lot more details of the 9+ day shoot here locally in Yakima.
That was a long week, but holy cow, was it fun.
It was so hot. It was like
middle of August.
July to August.
August,
that was intense, but it was awesome. I was just more kind of like existing and hanging around, doing whatever needed to be doing.
Eating gummy bears and
yes. Fruit snacks.
That's what it was. Fruit snacks.
Yes. Love me some fruit snacks. But you were acting and you did makeup for several people.
Yeah.
Like ongoing. So
David, I forgot his last name. Rivera, thank you. David Rivera plays the antagonist in the story. So I got to do a few fun makeups on him. Again, I actually did a makeup on him back in Not So Amazing as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know, just some little thing on his forehead. He got hit with a brick or something.
Oh yeah.
Or a bat, or it's been a while. But yeah.
Yeah.
That one didn't turn out very good. I don't think it even made it into the final cut of the movie.
No.
It was pretty bad.
Oh dear.
Just my makeup. He did great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got to do that again for this movie. So that was super exciting and a lot of fun.
I mean, we spent 3 days on each shoot, respectively, for our short films that we finally were able to shoot.
Yep.
It's been 3 years-ish in the works for Vicious Vacuum.
Oh yeah.
From when Vanessa and I originally started scripting it back in 2020, back in that summer.
Yeah.
And then Isabel, I mean,
Isabel's
those of you
fast.
those of you who have been podcast listeners, we recorded that episode in November of 2022.
Yeah.
And then we shot it
that was episode
like 6
3.
months later. So yeah, that's been really fast turnaround relatively. So
yeah, other than like some slight delays in the post-production, very valid reasons. We're not just lazy.
If you say so. Well, speaking of myself, you were not lazy. I'm the editor.
We are actually pretty close to being done.
Yes.
Now
that the holidays are over,
Yeah.
it's crunch time.
Yeah.
So I want to get that done soon.
One of the last things we need is our music, our score. We're getting a custom soundtrack for this movie.
Yes.
And the Vicious Vacuum.
Yeah.
Both of which are being done by are we allowed to say?
Well, it's not so much of a soundtrack for Isabel, but
that's true.
sort of.
Isabel's more of a soundscape.
With some songs that are featured. So
by Hesher Cats.
Yes.
So we're super excited for that.
Yes. We miss you, Robert, in case you're listening. Happy you're getting married.
Yes.
But
very soon too. Or actually, I guess by the time this comes out, it'll be congratulations, you got married.
Yes. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be done soon. And we're probably gonna be submitting that and maybe Vacuum as well to I hope both.
Yeah.
To some film festivals in the next year and a half or so.
That's kind of both what we're recap and looking forward to the future.
Yeah. As far as other things this year, we're planning probably about 20 episodes for season 2 in our podcast. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less.
We want to have a lot of guests on.
We're going to have so many guests.
So we have a big list of people.
Yeah. We'll be announcing those eventually whenever they agree to come on our podcast.
Yes.
AKA whenever we ask them.
Yes.
And so we're going to have a lot of fun topics on our podcast. We're going to try and be really focused, which is really hard. I'm going to have lots of caffeine so I can focus.
There you go.
And it's going to be a real good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else you're looking forward to about 2024?
Little Black Submarines coming out in July.
Of course.
That's probably my main highlight.
I'm so excited to watch that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have, I don't know if we're allowed to say that we've seen a couple of scenes here or there. Well, maybe just said the trailers. Like, how many trailers has Jordan made? I know he hasn't even released all of them, but
he made a trailer every night of filming.
Something like that.
We would film for like 12 hours.
Jordan is a madman. I don't know how he
didn't
does
sleep the whole week. So we'd film for like 8 to 12 hours, and then they would go back to wherever they're staying, and the other guys would go to sleep, and Jordan would just be up editing all night, and the other guys would wake up in the morning. We'd get there, and he'd be like, "Guys, look what I made," and we'd be like, "Jordan, did you sleep?" And he'd be like, "No, look what I made." We love you, Jordan.
Word. Yeah, oh my word. Yes. Still don't know how you do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
But definitely looking forward to seeing the full finished product.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It's gonna be beautiful. One of the other things that I'm looking forward to is actually getting into the festival circuit and seeing what that's like, having fun, meeting people, getting our stuff out there. Yeah. Looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah, we were looking on Film Freeway for more, I guess, Pacific Northwest local things or things we could submit virtually too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was fun. Yeah.
So a lot of those, if I remember correctly, have submissions in the winter. Because there are a lot of spring festivals. But there's also a lot of summer and fall festivals. So we'll probably start with those and then work our way around to next year, maybe. I don't know. If we can still get any by the time we're done this year, then that'd be great.
Yeah. So All
Yeah.
good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? We've got a couple minutes left.
Well, I think one of the things we wanted to when our structure is closed with this is gonna sound super churchy, we want to close with a benediction every time. Might be the same one, might be different.
Yeah.
So for now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you his peace. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.